This conference will now be recorded.
And after that, we discuss about non-access specifiers. And non-access specifier, what we are discussing: abstraction keyword, static keyword, and final keyword. There is a one famous interview question. So, what is the difference between final, finally, and finalize? Okay. So, as of now, we know this one. Final. Final is a keyword. We can apply for a method, and we can apply for
Variables
a
and
variables, and we can apply for a classes, right? So what happened if I apply for a variable? What will happen? My final variables
you cannot update,
The
cannot
value
we
update.
cannot change, right? We cannot change or we cannot update my final variables, right?
ఎందుకు
Right, final with variables. So final variable cannot be changed and we cannot update the final variable value, right? So if you don't want to change again and again a variable value or don't want to update the value, just make it as a final, right? And so we have one more, we can apply a final keyword even methods too. So what will happen if you apply for a methods, you cannot override. So just if you don't want to allow anyone to override that method, just make your methods nothing but in a parent class. So parent class method, if you don't want to allow anyone to override, just make your methods as final methods. And even we can apply for a class level, right? Right, sorry team, yesterday. So if we apply for a class, final class, we cannot, not instant, we cannot inherit nothing but we cannot make child class for a final class. Observe here. So let me have an example here. Let me create a package. Right, I'm having a class called D, right? So here let me have a class called K. Now observe here. Now, so here I'm having a secure stable code here. So in my A class, let's say login code, it is perfectly working. So here, so this, I don't want to allow to anyone to inherit my class. If anyone inherit my class, so automatically they can override these methods. Yes or no? This
Yeah.
is, let's say this is a login logic. So if anyone override, if anyone can make my class as a parent, they can override these methods. But I don't want to allow this method to override. So one way is you can make it as a final, or so if you don't want to allow even for a relationship, just make your class as a final. Observing here in this B class, so observe here. So I'm trying to make relationship between my A and B class. Now, so here you can happily, easily make relation between two classes. Now observe here. Now here I'm trying to make my class as a final class. Observe here.
It's getting it.
So remove final modifier for A. Boss. So this class is a final class. So you cannot make relationship with this class, A class. So final keyword usage method level. If you don't want to change variable value, just make it as a final. So if you don't want to override the method, make it as a final method. If you don't want to inherit your class, just make it as a final class. Now, this is one famous question, team. So what is the difference between final, finally, and finalize? So as of so far, we are know about only the final keyword and finalize method. So already you know what is a final keyword. What is the final keyword, team? Final keyword is a special Java keyword. So this is one of non-access specifier. So we can apply this final keyword in 3 levels: method level, variable level, class level. If you apply for a variable, so you cannot change it. If you apply for a method, you cannot override it. If you apply for a class, you cannot inherit. Nothing but you cannot make relationship with your final class. Clear, team? And already you know finalize method. What is a finalize method, team?
Garbage collector. It cleans.
Garbage collector. So if you want to call a garbage collector, if you want to destroy unused memory, so you have to call a method called garbage collector. Sorry, finalize method from where?
Object class.
Object class. So on top of object reference, you can call a method called finalize method. So finalize method will invoke garbage collector and it will kill unused memory. Right. So we'll discuss this finally. So finally is a block, team. So you have to represent like this. So final is a keyword. Finally is a block. Finalize is a method. So you already know this is a final keyword. The right answer also. Yeah. First one. Final is a keyword. So right answer to here. So finally is a block. We'll discuss in this block. What is the block? Where to use block? How to use this block? And finalize is a method. From where? Java.lang.package object class. So what is the use of this method, team?
Garbage collector for cleaning up
Garbage.
memory, unused memory.
There is also one more method, team. So there is a method called GC. Even you can call a garbage collector using this method also. Okay, now java.lang package. Under java.lang package, so we discuss about object class, right? And there is a one more important class in a java.lang package, and interview perspective also is a very important thing, string class, right? Now tell me, team, what you already know about a string. Now tell me the key points. So based on your knowledge, so up to know what is your knowledge and what is your understanding about string class.
String is data typing. Yeah, it's also data type.
Okay, very good.
And
First
class.
one. So it is a data type.
Yeah, it is a class in
Okay.
Java lang.
And also a class from java.lang package. Okay. Any other?
Characters.
Okay. So can I say it's a collection of characters?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Any other? Okay, that's good enough. Now, how to declare a string variable, team?
Data types. String.
So data type string, you can give any name, variable name like this. So
And value
variable
in
name
double
like
quote.
equals to, within a double quotes you have to provide the string collection of characters, right? So if you want to take, if you want to store more than one character, that should be possible with only string t, right? Now, so by default, if you give anything within a double quotes, that should be considered as a string. If you give a number, if you give a character, or if you give a boolean, so whatever it may be, so if you give anything, so inside this double quotes, so by default execution will consider as a string t, whatever it may be. So even if you give a number here also, let's say here if you give a number like this within double quotes, that is also considered as a string collection of characters. That don't think it's a number. It will consider a number when if you give like this plain number. So if you give, it will consider a character when if you give a character within a single quotes like this. But whatever you are giving, so whenever you give anything, so within a double quotes, by default it will consider as a string, right? Now, so for declare a string variable, we have a two approach team. So you can declare a string variable two ways. So already we know, you keep on using this way: string, nothing but data type, variable name equals to variable value within a double quotes, right? And even we have a one more way team. Even so, you can declare the variable one more way. So entire all the data types, you can declare a variable value two types using string only, right? Now this string is a class, right? If it is a class, can I create object in?
Yeah.
If it is a class, obviously we can create object for a class, any class. So string is a predefined class from a Java package, Java software, java.line package, right? So if it is a class, I can create object like this: class name, object name equals to
Class name of.
new constructor, right? So for this constructor, so inside a string class, there is no any default constructor thing. There is a parameterized constructor. You have to pass a parameter, whatever you want to pass here, string. So one way, so you can declare like a primitive data types. Another way, so just to create object for a class, string class, and the pass string for your constructor. This is parameterized constructor. There is no default constructor in string class thing. There is only one constructor, parameterized constructor. You have to pass your string as a parameter for that constructor. Clear?
Yeah.
So just you can declare two types. Now, if it is a class, obviously there will be some predefined methods. Yes or no? So in java.lang.string class, we have a predefined method string to manipulate the string. So to write a program for comparison, for doing lots of stuff, there are predefined method in java.lang.string class. Let's see what are the methods we have in java.lang.string class, right? So before that, we already know methods in a java.lang.object class. So what are the methods in java.lang.object class team? So first one is get class, right? So to get class details, hash code to get
Hash code.
object in the form of code, and so equals method, clone method, toString method, finalize method, right? And the notify all these methods. And so what is a string class team? So this is also a child class of object class, right? So what are the methods having a string? Along with the string specific methods, also available of
Object.
object class methods. And don't think so in string class we have only string class methods. So by default, whenever you create object, there will be availability of that class methods and parent class object class methods. So if you create one class or a parent class, it will contain your user defined class methods, parent class methods, and default super class object class methods. Right. Now let's see what are the methods we have in string class. Right. Now, so there are these are the important methods team. So these are the good enough. The first one is long method team. Sorry, length method. Now let's see it programmatically one by one. Let me create a class. What else? Better create a package. Right. So by default, you have a relationship like this. If you create any class, so there will be a extents of object. Right. Now here, if you say no object class or string class, so string class will be like this thing. So class, what is the class name?
String.
Extends object like this.
Object.
And the most important one is string class is a final class. That means why people are taken as a final class?
We maybe it shouldn't inherit. We can't inherit.
Exactly. To restrict, to override of this class, to restrict the relationship with this class, people are made this class as a final class. Observe here. I'm trying to make relationship with string class. Type of string demo cannot subclass the final class string. Nothing but boss, you cannot make relationship with the string class because string class is a final class. Clear? Now you got to know where we have to use the final keyword or final class. Right. Now let me take a main method. So for my convenient purpose, I am taking string inside a method team. I'm taking as a local variable. Now, string yes equals to within a double quote whatever you mention. So that is so default considering as string Java. Right. So also if you want, you can declare a variable like by creating object for a class name object name equals to new constructor. So here you have to pass parameter. Why? This is a parameterized constructor. So you have to pass string like this, your name or anything. So what is the string you want to pass? Just pass here. Right. So this will discuss later. And what will happen if you take like this, and so what is the difference between this approach and this approach, right? So people are saying string is immutable. How can we immute, right? So memory point of view and string manipulations we'll discuss it. Now, let's see methods of string class and uses of this method, right? Now the first one method is length method team. So the length method will return what team? It will return so the declared string variable length in the form of what? Integer. Right. A simple example I have taken within a double quote string. Right. So if you want to know, let's say you have given a long variable like this. You want to know the length of this variable. Now how to note in? Just s dot length. So let me print it. System.println. So here it will return length of this variable. So it will return length of this variable. Length method return type is what? In integer number. It will return the size of variables. Sorry, size of these letters. 24. Now let me have just a simple variable in Java. So what is the output here I'll get if I execute this one?
4, 3.
Observe, it will return a 4. So always it will calculating what? Number of characters. So how many characters this string holding? 4 characters. Length
4.
will give you number of characters. You can consider number of characters. Now observe here, if I give it space, what could be the output in?
5.
So here space also considering one character, right? So and remember team, void also it is considering a value. So in Java we have a value for a 0. In Java we have value for spaces. So even we have a value for some null also. Okay, null nothing but there is no value, but that is also one value. We'll discuss. Okay, as of now consider, so 0 also one value and space also one character in Java, right? So me better I'll paste it here. Use case output. Hope you're able to understand that this one. If I give like this,
Yeah.
output also. Okay. Now this is a length method team. Now, so this, remember team, this length method can be useful at the time of interview questions practice. People will ask you team, just try to print this one reverse order and try to let's say, see here. So they'll give you like this. Hi, welcome to Paris. People will ask you like this thing. So print this as a reverse order, or so people will ask you print this word reverse order. So I'll give it like this. So just this is reverse order, reverse string, and also reverse word, nothing but like this. So word that's the same position, but so you have to print it in a reverse order, just like this one. So here the first word is hi, right? Now you have to print like this. Same location, reverse order. Okay. So string reverse is different. So reverse word is different. Okay. So if you are able to understand these methods, you can simply do it. Team. Okay. Now the length method will return number of characters in a particular string, and the next method is to lowercase on top of this method. And remember team, so as of now, if you declare string s is equal to Java or string object reference is equal to new string constructor within a double quotes Java, there is no difference as of now. So here if you give like this or new string, so in any way you can able to use the string class methods. So this approach and this approach, if you declare any approach, you can able to call string class methods on top of this reference. Here also you can consider you are creating object for a string class. So if you are able to create a string object for a string class, obviously you can use the methods of string class, right? Yes or no?
Yeah, yes.
Right? Now, the first one is length, the return number of characters, right? And the next method, so in a string class, we have a dot to uppercase that will return entire string in uppercase. So as of now, it's all are in lowercase, right? So it will return like this, uppercase. Observe. If it is in a uppercase, so you can print as a lowercase. Let me print it. So this one is to uppercase. So if it is stored in a lowercase, it will return like this. Lowercase will give you like this. Right? Entire string. Forget about the length of the string. So if it is any length, so that will return. If it is stored in a lowercase, if you call uppercase, that will give you in uppercase. If you call lowercase, that will give you in lowercase. Right? Now here lowercase. What could be the output team line number 8?
Java
guess?
in lowercase.
Java in lowercase. Nothing great. Okay. Now, so next method, trim method. Observe. This is a very important thing. Right. So when you this method will useful. So first of all, observe here s dot trim method. So what is the written type of trim method team? Trim again. Observe team. If you call any method, so Eclipse in Eclipse it will suggest, and here also it will highlighting string. Able to see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you move the cursor, by default it will show first of all what is that from where it is class, and first of all it will show you the return type team. Observe. First of all it will show you the return type, what it is returning. If you want, you can store it by seeing the return type. So it is trim method returning string again. So trim method you are calling on top of string object. So what is the trim method team? For suppose, so if you say like this, Java space, so before Java space, after Java space. So this will trim this spaces team. Observe. For better understanding, I'll give you a colon like this. Okay. Observe the output. Okay. The spaces removed here. Now tell me the output team. Java session. No. What could be the output team?
Java session is no spaces. Java, sir.
Observe. Trim will trim before your string and after your string. Trim nothing but cutting edges. Okay. So let's say you are having some application team. So obviously you have to capture username and password from a front-end UI. So user provide the username like this. This is username. Let's say this is the password. Now username will provide like this. And the password somehow, so password is 123, but he provided a space 1 2 3 4 5 6 and again space. So this is having what? First space and last space. Now if you get it as it is, so this capturing in the form of string, the string will contain what team? String will contain like this, space 1 2 3 4 5 6 and space. Before performing any operation, so you have to trim the string. Clear team? Hope you're able to understand the purpose of string. Sorry, trim method in string.
Yeah.
Right? So better before performing any operation, better to trim the string whatever you're getting. Right? Trim method will do what? It will trim the edges, not the spaces. So this is word, this is separate word and this is separate word, so it won't touch the space. It will trim, so front and back of the string. Remove the beginning and ending of this string. Okay. Right. And next method is value of. Right. Now the value of the method value of use case here is observe. That's not a tell. Now s dot value of. Observe team. So value of, how many methods we have? This is an overloaded method team. Remember what is overloading?
Method with same name, different
Okay.
parameters. We are passing
Method
different
with
parameters.
same name differentiated by parameters or number of parameters within the same class. Right. Now in string class we have a value of with boolean, char, array, double, float, int, long, object. So all this thing. Right. So if you pass a value for this value of, let's say I am passing this 100 to my value of method. Observe team. So value of method will return in the form of string team. String value equals to value of. Now this 100 is a number. So by default observe team, here I'm passing a value. It can be considered as an integer. Now this 100 converted into in the form of string and return in the form of string. So if you want, you can store it into string. So let me print this value, local variable, storing after the conversion. So automatically here my value of doing what team? Just it is converting my data type integer to string here. Like that, you can pass float, double, boolean, anything. Observe. So this is here, this is number. You can consider int format. Now here number is converted into string. Like that, you can type or you can convert any data type to string here. Let's say here I'm passing 100.12. By default, it is considered as a double. Now double will convert to string, storing into here, and it automatically print 100.12, which is string considering here. Creating the value of is useful for what?
Converting
Any
data.
data type into string format. Converts given type into string. So that's why I'm storing into excuse me. That's why I'm storing into string here, right? The next method is char at. The method name is char at. What is the return type of char at, team?
Char value.
Observe. S dot char at. What is the type of char, team?
Char.
Char. Char data type. Now observe. Char at asking what? Int index. So this is here whatever you are storing the variable. So this will be considered. So like array team. Observe here. Like so you are storing Java, right? Now observe it will consider and storing like this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Right. So in Java, index number starting from
0.
0, right? 1, 2, 3. Now specifically I want to get v value team. I want to get v, right? Now if you pass a v index number, now here char at method return v team. If you pass a 0 index number, char at with a returning here
J.
first matching one,
Yeah.
right? Now observe I want to get a. If I want to get a, what the index number I want to pass? 1 or 3?
1. 1.
What to return if you pass 3?
I will get 1. A.
If you pass 1, you will get a. Which a? This a. If you pass 3, it will return a from this index.
Yeah.
Okay. Now char at returns what? Char. So if you want, you can store it into char here, single character. So here I'm passing 0. So char at method type is char data type and character. Let me say character variable. Now if you want, you can print it for understanding purpose. Okay. Now this will return what? J, first character, the 0th index. Okay. Now the next method is replace method team. So by seeing a method name, you can able to understand a replace method, right? Now observe here, replace, right? So let me say welcome to Java session, right? Now this is my string, right? So let me call string dot replace method. Observe team. The first replace method. So what it is saying team, char, and second replace method. So char sequence and char sequence. These two methods are what? These two methods are what team?
We can replace the character.
Overloaded methods.
Yeah.
Same method name with
Method name
different parameters. Observe here. Now first replace method, so I can use for old character, new character. So in this string statement, so if I want to replace any character, just replace the character, old character. Now, so I would like to replace this W with any character. Let's say A. Right? Why I'm getting error, team?
Double quote or single quote?
We have to provide in the form of single quote. Char single quote, string double quotes. Observe. So before this replace, let me print this S. After the replace, let me print S, so that you can able to understand. Okay, observing. Sorry, this will, let me store it. So replace will return a string team. Let me string replaced one. Now let me print this replaced. Observe, this W is replaced with what? A. Now, so this time I would like to use this replace method for what? For to replace Java. This earlier I have replaced single character. Now this time I would like to replace char sequence. Nothing but multiple characters string here. Now if it is string, I have to pass in the form of double quotes. This is the first string, and this is after replaced. Okay. Now observe here. Now this time it has to return what? Welcome to
Python session.
right. This is replace char replace string. Now the next method is substring team. Substring. What is the written type of substring team?
In substring.
Substring is method name, and before method name return type string again. Right? And what is the parameter for substring?
Int begin index.
Into integer. So you have to pass a number, integer number. Now observe here. Right. Now observe here. Now I would like to call method called substring. Right. Now the substring method, it is asking what team? Integer parameter. Observe. So if I pass integer number like this, so it will return from that index. Let's say this all the characters are storing in the form of what? Index number, right? From the 11th index, it will return remaining string team. So where it is starting 11th index, let's say this is a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. From the 11th index, it will return remaining string. Now after that, it will return in the form of string. If you want, you can store it to one more variable, or else you can print it here by using system.println. Now let me print like this. From the 11th index, it will return string. So this 11th is space, right? Let me use 12. From that index, it will give you remaining characters in the form of string again. Clear?
Yeah.
So always remember, so here from index return remaining string. Substring. Substring with what? Substring with single integer parameter. Now we have a one more substring team. Substring, so int beginning, int ending. So if you want to get some portion of the string, so here you can pass two value string. Now I want to get a substring from 12th index to, let's say, 17th index. Two numbers earlier. So I would like to get remaining string from a 12th index. Now this time I would like to get a portion of a string, so which is from 12th index to 17th index. Now observe here. Clear? Are you able to differentiate
Yeah.
substring
Yeah.
with single parameter and double parameter? Right. Now this is one more method called contains. So contains, what is the parameter for contains team?
Character.
Char sequence, right? Observe here. Right. Now, so what is the method name? Contains. Here, s dot contains. Contains asking char sequence, nothing but string again. So if you say any string here, so it will check whether the passing string is present inside this existing string or not. So you are calling this contains function on top of this string s dot. Now this will go and check whether the string is present inside this one. If it is present, so contains returns what? Contains
Boolean.
returning what? Boolean. So if you want, you can store it like, you can store it Boolean presence, right? So if it is contained, it will return the Boolean value true. If it is not contained, it will return Boolean value false. Now observe, now this time it has to return what? True or
True.
false,
True.
right? So that is the use of contains function. Remember, contains function returning Boolean value, right? And the next method is equals method, right? Now, if you want to compare two strings, you can compare using equals method team. Now observe. So here I can use like this equals method. Now let me print this presence. What could be the answer team? Again, the contains function returning Boolean value. So Boolean nothing but either true or false. We have only two options. So now this time if I execute this program, what I'll get? True or false?
False.
Why false?
Both.
Because the variable string is this one. Now I'm comparing with this one. I'm comparing. So please tell me whether these two strings are equals or not. Now observe. Now let me make it my earlier string variable is like this. Now this time,
True.
now this equals method coming from where, team?
Object class.
Object class. In object class, what is the action of this equals method?
It compares object.
Two classes
Compare
objects.
two objects. Now tell me, team, here. Excuse me. Tell me, team, here what it is doing? Compare method, equals method,
Comparing
equals method, equals
strings.
method in string class, equals method in object class. Now equals method in object class, what is the action? It will compare two objects.
Two classes objects.
So it will compare two objects in my object class. Now equals method, same method in my string class. It will compare
Two string given strings.
two string contents.
Yeah.
Right. So it will compare two string contents. That means, can I say this equals method is overridden my string class?
Yeah.
So see, so same method in my object class, in my string class. In my parent class, so this is comparing two objects. In my child class, it is comparing two strings. Same method, signature in two relationship classes. Now, equals method, it is not sufficient to compare two string contents. That's why the people are overridden this equals method in string class. Now, somewhat you are able to understand when we have to go for a override.
Yes.
Right, team? Now, that's what about equals class. You can compare two objects in an object class. You can compare two string contents in a string class. Right? The next one is equals ignore case. Right? Now, observe here. Now, my string S1 is Java T. My string S2 is also Java. Now, if I compare this one equals, what will happen, team?
True.
Let me write a condition like this. S1 dot equals S2. S1 and S2 are not equals. If I execute the program, what is the output, team? Come on, quickly. If I execute the program, what is the output?
This will be executed. S1 and S2 are not equal.
This was not equal.
S1, S2 are not
Ninth
equals.
line
Not-
will execute
Ninth one will execute or not?
Executed.
Why?
because they both are
Both are
equal.
same.
So
Equal.
true. If statement condition is will be true and ninth line will be executed.
Thanks, team. Thanks. Now I'm happy. See here. So when the if block will execute, team, whenever this condition is true, then only it will enter into the block. Now the whatever you mentioned in the code inside the condition, so that will be execute. So anyway, here I'm saying not equals. So but here my condition is true. Nothing but it will execute if block. So forget about the internal logic. Now here what is the condition? My condition is matching. S2 is equals to S1 is equals to S2. Both contents are same. That's why, so it will execute and will execute as it is internal whatever the code you are mentioning. So here I can confirm both strings are same. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So when it comes to the else block team, both strings
Or not same.
are not same. See, if I say like this, so automatically it will execute else block. Both things are not same. Now observe, if I say Java, what is the output?
Else block.
Else
Both
block
strings
or if
same.
block? Else or if? Which one?
Else.
See, observe, equals method is also consider or particular about case. It's a equals method is a
Case.
case sensitive in
Yeah.
string class. So here it will also check the case team. So if you want to ignore the case also, you can ignore by using a method called equals ignore case. So it will check only the content, not the case. So there is a one more method called equals ignore case, right? Let me remove this one as of now. So S1 equals ignore case S2, so return a true, and so this will be executed. So the both strings are same. Now this time, what? Both strings, I can say, content same. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Clear team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Equals ignore case. What is the written type of equals and equals ignore case?
String.
Very good. So if it is a string,
Boolean.
how
Sorry.
if it is string, how if block will accept it? So if block will accept only the Boolean condition.
Yeah.
Inside if block, you can accept either
True or
true
false.
or false. Only true or false. Other than true or false, if you are trying to write anything, that will return error. The resultant should be Boolean condition, either it may be true or false. If it is true, it will execute if block. If it is not true or a false, it won't execute if block. Right. And the next method is empty. So you can check whether this string is empty or not. Right. S dot S1 S1 dot is empty. So if the string is empty, it will return what? Boolean condition true. If it is not empty, it will return Boolean condition false. Now
False.
this time it will return false. Now let me make it as. Now if I execute this string, what is the output here? True or false? Only two chances. We can guess it, team. What is the
False.
output?
False.
Because it is
Space
in
is also
Java,
considered as
space
character.
is also considered, right? Let me remove space. Now this time,
True. True.
because there is no string here. Just I have declared and I have given a double quotes, no value, even space also. Right. Concat. Very, very important. Concat. So method name is what? Concat. S1 dot concat. So here concat nothing but you can append so one more string last of this existing string. So as of now my string S1 is Java, right? Now let's say Java. Let me concat this session, right? Observe. Now what is the written type of concat team?
String.
String. If it is written in string, I can store it into one more string. Let's say result string. Observing. So I'm not printing S1. I'm trying to print result string. What could be the output?
Java session.
So if you want, you can give a space here after Java or before session. Right? Concat. Where it concatenating nothing but append. Where it is appending, so end of your existing string. So it will append new string. This is very, very important team. So tomorrow we'll discuss completely on this one.
Okay.
Okay. Now the next method is split method team. Now session. Now if you want, you can split it in. You can split this entire string based on your input. So it will go, the split method will go into split s1 dot split method. So where you want to split, let's say I want to split on where space here. Whenever your is this string holding having a space, just split over there. Now observing what is the written type of split?
String.
String.
Array. String array.
String array. If it is a string array, I have to store it into string array, let's say substrings. How to print all the substrings in? How to print all the sub? I want to print all the substrings. How to print? Fire it in red machine. Already we discussed how to get all values from an array.
For each loop.
For
Good.
each.
So we can use for loop or for each loop. So if we use for loop, simple for loop, what is the loop starting point? How to take team? Come on team.
Index.
Index number always start from a 0, right?
Yeah.
I value less than or equals to substring dot what?
Size. Dot.
Substring dot
Length. Size. No size.
length keyword team. I plus plus. System.println substrings. Here we have to provide I value. Now what could be the output? What could be the output, team? Come on, team. If I execute this one, what could be the output?
Java
To
session.
without
Mhm.
space.
Sorry?
Root.
Tell me one by one, see. Ashwini, what is your answer?
Welcome to
Mhm.
Java session. Line by line.
Okay, very good. Bhavya?
Yeah, welcome to Java session, and spaces will be splitted break. We'll get
Okay.
break.
Very good. Naresh?
Yeah, is my answer is also is splitted.
Very good. Observative.
Array or bound exception.
Anyway, I'm splitting where space location. So after splitting, it is storing into string array. So where it is splitting, team? Space, welcome. So first space, second place, third space. Now, so array will be created with 4 index values. Now it will store in substrings 0, 1, 2, 3. Right? Now the substring holding 4 values 0 to 3 index. Right. Now here I'm trying to print one by one. So taking the index value 0 and so increasing every time iteration by 1, and here I'm taking what, team? Substring length. Substring length always give what? Here this length will give you what? My array size.
Yeah.
So that will return what? 4 here. Actually my index number is what?
3.
3 only, right? So here you have to take -1.
Length -1.
Or else simply you can use for each loop. Now tell me for each loop, team.
String
Where I have to
colon
use string?
right side colon
Okay.
right side.
String
Colon.
colon.
Substrings.
So the processing object you have to provide colon right side. So here, so you have to give a dummy variable. The dummy variable you have to print it here. Sub. Let me give you a substring. Better. Let me comment on this one. No need to provide loop starting point, ending point, increment, or anything. Clear?
Yeah.
Split method will split based on your input. Suppose, so here if it is having a comma, here you have to provide comma. This is we are calling a regular expression stream. So split method will allow the regular expression that should be given again in the form of string again. Now this time it will split over where? My comma position.
Near comma, yeah.
And we have one more method, index of, right? So what is the use of this index of, team? Returns the index char value. Observe here. Now my string variable is Java, right? Now it is having yes. S dot index of. Observe, it is asking what? Int parameter. Now if I supply the index number 0, it will return so associated index number. So on that index number, what is the letter it is holding? That will return that letter. Now index of return type should be what, team?
Integer.
1 second, team. Index of
Character.
types of index. Okay. String. System.out index of 0. See the output. Right. Now here you have to pass. So if you pass character, that will return index number, team. Observe, I am passing a J,
0.
0 index. Now if I pass A, what could be the value, team?
1 or
1.
3. 1, 3.
1 or
I
3?
think 1. 1. The first.
It will return first occurrence.
Yeah.
So here the definition should be that index of return the specified char value first occurrence index number. Perfect. Now this method starts with, right? Now, so here, so the method name is start with string. Again, this is from the string. So what is the written type of start with method name, team?
Boolean.
Boolean, right? The simple. So start with, if you want to know whether this variable starting with some characters, you have to use the method name itself, or starts with. Now here you have to provide, so whether this is starting with this one or not. J. Observe, if it is really starting with J, it will return true. If it is not starting with J, it will return a false. Here, this time it will return a true. Okay, and the next method is char to char array, team. Now, by using this to char array, so you can convert your string into char array. Observe. What is the method name? Dot to char array. So what is the written type of to char array, team?
Char.
Char array, right? Now char limit to array, right? Let's say these are chars, nothing but characters. So how will you print this, team? How will you get it?
For each loop.
Again, we can use either for or each loop. The right side, so I have to take this chars, and left side, what I have to take?
Data type char.
Okay, char.
Difference.
Let's say I can say just C here.
Colon.
I can say character code. This is a temporary variable type character. Okay. If you want to get side by side, just say instead of println, just use print method. Okay. That is the use of to-char array. Now observe team. Let me say welcome. Now I want to print this welcome into reverse order team. How? Welcome like this.
Welcome. Take for loop.
Mhm. For loop or for each loop?
For loop. Simple for
Okay.
loop.
Okay.
I think it take another string.
For loop. Yeah.
Another string.
S1 equal to
Okay. String s1 equals to
just spaces.
Interesting.
spaces.
Yeah. Colon. Inside for loop,
Inside for loop.
int I equal to 0.
Okay.
I
Int I equals 0.
less than or
Start.
length minus 1.
Yes.
Length minus 1.
I minus minus. I think increment.
Okay. And the logic. Observing. Now observe. So just here s dot. Now just we discussed to-char array. So what will return team to-char array?
Characters.
Characters.
Characters in the form of what?
Correct.
Array.
Char array, right? So observe here.
Yeah.
Char array. So these are characters. Right. Now I'm having all the characters in the form of array. Now, so here, if you want, you can print these characters like this, right? Now, so I equals 0, I less than equal to. So here I can say characters dot. So what thing? Length minus 1 every time plus plus. Just in order println. So here, if I say characters at index number what? I. Observe. What is written team? Welcome again. Now let me print it in single line. What it written? Welcome again. Now observe, just to change the order. Now this is here I am using what? Increment. Right. Now let's to use it as a decrement. I minus minus. How we printed 100 to 1 team.
Yeah.
Right. Observe, loop starting point, take this one. I value is greater than or equals to characters length minus 1. Now the I value should be ended at 0. Now every time, so I value should be increased by 1, I minus minus. I greater than or equals to 0. I less than or equals to characters.
Dot length.
1 second. Should be use expression should be characters length minus 1 than 0.
Equal to.
Or else you can use like this also. Let's say int right. For right, so inside this just to use system order println single line, use print characters index I value. Right now loop starting point, start with the last index. Right now int I equals to minus 1. Okay, now I starting this one, I value equals to 0 and equals to 0, I
Minus
minus.
1.
So it should be like this. Student syntax are expected of filter the okay.
You can declare inside a for loop in I equal to characters dot length minus 1.
As it is. Can take here.
I equal to I.
Yes. Okay. Observing. Even you can print word reverse. Now, so try yourself. Try to reverse word team. Right. So just say it's a welcome. Right. So hello. Let's say hello. Welcome. Right now print this hello reverse and then welcome reverse. Getting right?
Yeah.
First round itself people will ask you this type of question string, reverse string. This is the answer. Already we have documented the question. Okay, so try to reverse word to you. Okay, so output should be word reverse. So here you have to get like this. So hello, right? G L L O. So this should be first. Hello, welcome, right? So you'll get like this. So if you take like this, so output should be like this. Word reverse. Okay, try yourself. If not getting, you'll try it tomorrow. Question got understand, right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
word it should be in the same position, but it should be reverse,
Yeah.
right? And try to practice string programs team. So just Google it, you'll get string programs. So people will ask you Fibonacci series and star star, first lines 1 star, second line 2 star, third line 3 star, and like a diamond, right? So people will ask you even like this. See, so I should get in the first line one time. So I should get second line two times, three times, four times, five times. Like, so people will ask you like this. In the first line, I'd like to get like this. Right? So try to practice something before, try to understand methods. So try to practice these methods. Then only you can able to so imagine how will you get this output based on your input, how will you get this input. So if you understand these methods, so you will try to do the things. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions, team?
No.
Mm.
Thank you, team.
Thank you.
Thank